left off last week, I was just getting started on this transfer case brace. If you didn't see that one, go ahead and go back and watch it now. There we go. All right, so throwing the transfer case back in, got this thing way beefed up. You can see there, and then also you can see all of that is stuff that I did after market or after the fact. Bolting it all back up, and then should be able to throw the rear drive line in and actually drive this thing. I literally made it that far in welding up the rear bumper and out of wire. That's funny, I must have just barely finished whatever the last thing I was welding, because that's all I got. I welded and fabricated little brackets and gussets the whole day. I'm going to show you what I did, because from a glance it does not look like a whole lot. These Samurais do wrap the springs a little bit. I decided to tie the top and the old spring perch together all the way around. And then I added a truss. And I welded on this winch plate because it had 2 3/8 bolts holding it on. That's it.
That's not enough.
So I welded there, and I know some of these welds are a little ugly, and that's because I couldn't get in and clean them properly because it was already halfway welded on. Then I added these straps that go back to this cross member and tie in, let's see, right there. And then I added a strap here in the center of the bar, another one over here, and then I also welded this. I don't know why, it was welding great here, and then it just got ugly right in the middle. And I torched it, I cleaned it the best I could. Welded a little there, welded it there, welded it there. Re-welded this because where it connects to the spring here, that weld was broke. Welded a little bit up there. So I think that thing is on there good. And then on the rear axle, I kind of did the same thing, just on the one side, because under acceleration, it'll try to squeeze those or try to roll this one forward, and that way it has a little more strength. This bumper, the bumper itself was heavy duty, but it only had these 4 bolts that are just on the bottom. And then these inserts here. And then it just had these self-tapping screws. So I welded the 2 sides, you know, the side and the bottom here on each side. And then I'm gonna add some recovery points there and there. That way, you know, I understand that the Samurai is only, you know, 2,300 pounds or whatever, but what if she's yanking on something a lot heavier and she's anchored? We don't want the bumper to come off. Draining the trans oil, I decided we better change it because it's probably from 1987. Starting to pull the diff, and Abby picked up some tires and she is working on the duct tape bead locks.
Super professional here.
Getting stage fright. Little redneck beadlocks.
Looking good.
We're making Amy help. The exhaust on this thing was absolutely roached.
Ew.
Yeah, pretty bad. So we called in the expert. I don't do exhaust. Steven knows what he's doing. So what do we got going today, Steven?
Well, we hacked out that broken cat, and then we're just gonna get some tube and connect those 2 points. Nothing fancy, just super simple. Try to tuck it up a little bit for better ground clearance and call it a day.
And the huge benefit here is because this thing has a big rust hole there and the four-wheel drive shifter doesn't seal very well, then she won't be getting exhaust gassed out in the cab. Abby got herself a recovery rope and some soft shackles, and because she'll be airing down a lot, Smitty built 556 compressor. I'm sure you guys know the one. But we still got no recovery points, front or rear. So she found these on Etsy. It's a shackle mount, but it's specifically rounded and made for a soft shackle. I think they were like $33 for a pair. And then we will weld those on right there, and then Steven will do the tube work to come out and protect the corners. Check this out. We get this new radio from Retivis. It's a RA86. We're kind of moving away from CB just because, you know, the crappy audio quality when it comes through compared to the FM stuff. So we're moving towards either GMRS or ham. But there's no display or anything, or no knobs on the body of the radio, just a speaker. And then everything's up here on the mic. So you turn it on, and it's, you know, got all your GMRS channels pre-programmed in. You change the channel up here. And then volume here. Real simple radio. It's got DCS and CTC tones that you can do. We won't be using those, but really cool, simple radio, I thought, and pretty cheap, like $110. And then we did like a magnetic antenna right there, just a little short guy. It's kind of crunch time on the Samurai. We're trying to get it done by this coming weekend. It's Sunday today, and I'm out of town for half the week. So we brought in reinforcements. Andrew's coming down. He's going to work on the front end, and then he's going to set the backlash on the rear end, because Nathan went and busted the caps off before he could mark it. Thanks, Nathan.
Good job, Nathan. First time, huh?
Freaking Jeep guys don't know how to work a Toyota diff.
I also wore the correct shirt today. So I don't know if you guys see that.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna tear into this front end. It's got some bad bearings and who knows what, but we'll dig into that. We got a full rebuild kit. Check that out. Get this thing up and running. So I got the knuckle here tore down on this side. We're gonna start rebuilding her. Chuck's over here draining the oil because she had some water in it.
Oh God.
None came out.
There's no oil.
All right, so he's pulling the plug and no oil came out, but the axle had. I'll show you.
I think there actually is oil in it. It's just like
Gunked up. So the axle had signs of rust and water and stuff. Out here on the knuckle wasn't too bad. We had grease. You know, the burr-filled end had grease. Chuck's trying to fish for some oil. Is it just that cold in your shop, Chuck?
it's not that cold. You might be wondering why we're out in the rain with a smoking garbage can. Andy decided to, he was using the garbage can as he was brake cleaning parts and everything as kind of a drain. And then he was also grinding on top of it.
I was grinding nearby the garbage can filled with brake clean rags. We had to do a little timeout, emergency. Good thing it's raining in the Pacific Northwest.
Remind you of firing up a 1UZ?
I was gonna say, we've been here before, haven't we?
We burned that down the garbage can. I was up here on the ladder and the garbage can was right here. And we both heard it. I made a little noise and we knew. Andrew grabbed it, I ran for the door, we got it outside before we burned down anything else.
I had been spraying brake clean on rags and putting it in the garbage can pretty heavily, cleaning the knuckles. And then I decided to grind for the welder ground and woof.